Hello, welcome to another macro video. We've got a powerful new search tool today called ListOfFound, and I hope you find it useful. I'm certainly looking forward to getting into using it. When we're editing, we do a lot of find all sorts of how to find all sorts of things, words, phrases, highlighting, styles, loads of things. I just listed a few things that came to mind here, but all of those actually, for each of them, there is at least one macro that allows you to find things more easily and more quickly. So we want to use a macro, which is fine, but we've got to find it. We've got to find a macro. Fine. We've got the macro menu, which lists them all, and we can look in there, but it's rather large, and you've got 1200 macros to choose from. So we want to do some searching in the macro menu to find what we need. Let's have the macro list so you can see what macros I'm using. So this ListOfFound is very helpful. I could, for example, type in find and run the macro, and it puts the word it's looking for there, just so in case I need to change it. I just say OK. 194 of them, rather a lot. Let's not just look for that. Let's look for find highlight, which is what I want to do. So run the macro again. Yes, that's what I want. There's a lot of them, but it's looking for paragraphs, in other words lines in the macro menu that contain both the word find and the word highlight. So let's see what we've got, and we end up with 11 there. If we look at the words thingy, paragraphs 11, we've got 11 macros, and we can look through those and find if any of those is what we're looking for. Okay. So the next thing where we've got a good example of the power of this macro is when we're dealing with citations. So if we've got a document that we want to check, we want to check the citations against the references and vice versa. So let's go to the references, click in the first one, and let's run the citationalized macro in order to get a list by year of all the different citations and all the different references, so that we can see whether they will match against one another. So we can look through those and see, yes, all these seem to match up, that's fine. Keep going until we find one that I know is wrong. So I've got wrench and scriver there, which is 1990, and there isn't a reference related to it. However, we've got wrench and scriver here. Okay, fine. So what we want is to look in the text for one or other of these. So if I click in wrench and shift click in the 1990 bit and run the macro ListOfFound, what I've got there is the full date 1991. I want to be I just want 199 something. So if I do it, if I use that as my search, what do I get? Well, I get these various things where wrench is mentioned in 1991 or 2, and so this one is the citation that we're looking for. So we can use ListOfFound as a way of getting to where it is in the document, but we want to do the same to have a look at the citation to find that in the document itself. That's fine, but you can't just search for that. Well, if you try, you end up with the same thing in the other document, in the other list of citations. So what I do instead, if I copy that, Control C, and put that out the way, go back to the original document, and then run the macro here, I can paste in that citation, and what it will then do is look for the two at the wrench and the 1990. So if I say yes, okay, go ahead and do that please, then I get the bits in the text where it mentions wrench and 1990 in the same paragraph, so I can then check through on those. Okay, so that is that's good. And we've got some the same, I mean, that's a kind of more specialist use, if you like, of the list of found, but just in straightforward ordinary text, then you can gain by using list of found. So here's an ordinary text. Suppose I'm looking for references to rabbit hole. I can click across those two, run the macro, and see what I get. Continue, yes. And there we go. So the word rabbit occurs 13 times. Rabbit and hole occur 13 times, and there are 8 paragraphs. In other words, it's more than once in the same paragraph. But what I've done here is I've given the document an end note and a footnote, so that you can see that the list of found also pulls text out of the notes as well as the main text. Right, now the other thing that you can do is that's just going for the text, but what you can do is have some limitations, if you like. In other words, if something occurs too often in too many different formats, then we might want to pare it down a bit. So suppose I'm looking for horse, and this is just a silly bit of text, horse and man, then obviously if I run the macro for there, then I get all those, there they go, all those 7 occurrences that I've put there. But what we can do is run the macro, and then we can limit it either. We can limit it as case sensitive, and we can limit it as whole word. So if we try case sensitive first, and what I've used for that is a hash symbol. So I'll pop a hash symbol in there and run the macro. So what we've got there now is only those paragraphs where horse and man occur in lower case, because it was the lower case that oops, go away. I had it on the lowercase version. Okay, let's try it again. This time we will put in an angle bracket, the greater than sign, which is the word, the wildcard symbol that we use for end of word. So that's just, you know, you can use any symbol, but I've chosen to use that one. Okay, what do we get for that one? So what I get this time is only those examples where it's just the word man and just the word horse, and not any of these other ones where it's the word is longer than the actual horse and man bit. And then you can combine them both. So we can do the same again, go back to here, run it, and this time put both the hash symbol and the triangle, the greater than sign, and all we get this time is just the one. There was only the one occurrence, which was of that case, that's all lowercase, and just the word horse, just the word man. Okay, and one final thing which we may occasionally want. So if, for example, I select that and run the macro, then what I can do is say, well, I don't want to just look at the first and the last word. I want the whole thing. I want to quote the whole thing. So I've put a single quote at the end there and run the macro. Then all it finds is occurrences where this is horse managing occurs. So there's just the 2 of them there. So it's a very flexible macro, and I hope you find it useful. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye now.